Hello interwebs, today we're going to be doing a video on my favorite internet characters. So as you can see, I have a lot of them to go through, but I can name pretty much every single one here. And we'll start off easy with Izuna Hasuse from No Game No Life. A lovely character that we will put, I really can't decide. I would probably put all of them in the sweetest tier, but that wouldn't be as much fun, so I'm gonna just put her in the cutie tier for now. And right here, I have spouted Anna from Strawberry Marshmallow. And I don't mean to brag, but the original title for this anime is Ichigo Mashimaru. But Anna here, I'll probably put into the mid-decent tier. I don't feel like I could put any of these characters below decent because that just wouldn't be honest. And right here we have one of my favorite duos of all time, Izumi and Elf from Iramanga Sensei. Definitely going into the sweetie tier. And right here is Wiko from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I haven't watched this one in a very long time, so I'm just going to put it into the decent tier. And just scrolling down, we'll do one more, and I see, Futaba right here from Mitsudomo. And if you aren't an actual Japanese connoisseur like myself, you would know that Mitsudomo means three-way struggle, which is something I am very familiar with if you didn't know. Not that it's very hard to believe, but I will put her in the cutie tier. Thank you for watching my very informative video. Please like, subscribe, and I will be very grateful. Sayonara. Hello Internet! While other people are doing gross stuff like having sex, today we'll be mastering the blade and watching the pot call the kettle cringe, as we'll be going on r/justneckbeardthings. So without further ado, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get on to the video. Alright, so here's the homepage. Barba non philosophum facit. I do not know what this means. It's probably Latin. Miladies and gentle sirs, welcome to r/justneckbeardthings. Join us in mockery of fedoras, blades, body pillows, and all neckbeard things. And this has 90,000 users and 1,000 weekly contributions, which I still have no idea what these are. And so I'm actually re-recording this video because most of the original posts that I found from like this year or this month were just like normie politics stuff, like left-leaning politics stuff. And I found it quite boring, so I spent some time looking way deeper into the subreddit like all time just to like scroll through pretty much everything, and I'm a lot happier with the posts that I got, and there's a lot more of them, which means we're probably going to go through them quicker, but they're a lot more interesting. But anyway, let's look at this comic right here that has been pinned at 63,000 upvotes. I made y'all a Neckbeard's alignment chart. Have a nice weekend. Lost his mind? So we went from wholesome neutral to lost his mind to innocent neutral to depraved. And okay, so we have bronies, weebs, incels, white knights, basically furries, I guess, gentlemen, mall ninjas, good boys, I don't know what the fuck this is, and then gamers. Also, why don't all of them have a neckbeard? Isn't this the neckbeard chart? But this made me actually think of something. So all of these people are white because I think obviously the neckbeard stereotype is just some fat white dude. But let's think, bronies. I actually have never met or seen a black brony. I've definitely seen black weebs and Indian weebs. I have not seen a black furry though. I'm trying to think. Let me see. I've definitely seen black mall ninjas. And to be honest, I have not like been able to think of like a prominent black incel or like an Indian furry. And unfortunately gonna own goal myself a little here, but I've definitely seen all of these as Asians, and that it is just what it is. It is what it is, you know? And then the top controversial comment says, now do one for women, see how Reddit receives it. Oh, I would love to see that. Could reveal quite a bit. And then someone said, your comment just revealed quite a bit. And I think this is an incel accusation. Let me see. Yeah, it is. Incel mindset, my friend. What, so you can do something that's all guys, but if you do something that's all women, now it's sexist and you're an incel? This is another Reddit moment. What the fuck? But anyway, let's get on to our first post. So this is possibly the most neckbeard looking ad I have seen. And let's get a good zoom in on it. So beard money, tattoos and piercings, Kroger shopping plaza. And let's look at these tattoos. Okay, so this is definitely AI because I see a Star of David right here, along with a Christian cross, along with something that looks like, the crescent in Islam or whatever. Like, this assortment of tattoos makes practically no sense. But let's actually see, what does this place look like? Okay, wow. Their site's in such a low resolution. And it's like a kind of weird resolution too. Heal, preserve, rejuvenate, cocoa butter. Okay, so this must be like some type of local place because this looks like it looks like some type of convention, but I don't know, maybe it's like a shopping mall. Either way, using AI art in your ad when you're supposed to be tattoo artists is kind of cringe. Elon's Doge minions look exactly the way you'd expect them to, but none of them have neckbeards. What are they doing on here? And also, didn't this guy like actually get his ass beat trying to save some girl? Mamas, come get your babies out of government? Bro, some of our founding fathers were in their like early 20s, or maybe even teenagers, let me think. Never mind, I don't want to think, let's just use AI. Many founding fathers were surprisingly young when the United States was founded, with several key figures being in their late teens and 20s, including James Monroe at 18, Alexander Hamilton at 21, and Aaron Burr at 20. James Madison was 25, while other prominent figures like Marquis de Lafayette was 18, John Lawrence 21, and Henry Lee III at 20. Also, just because you're a grown-up, quote-unquote, doesn't mean you're actually any more competent or less competent. There's plenty of fucking retards in government that are like in their mid-40s, mid-50s, late 60s, whatever. It's not really that good of a measure of competency. But this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, a lot of the posts that I saw before were basically just either... You could have found them on r/politics. Neckbeard says Junko Ferrata, who was raped and murdered by gang members, is the female George Floyd. Women love dark humor until you make fun of their George Floyd. Women don't like dark humor, actually. Most women I know fucking hate it, and they're the ones who are going to police it first. But also, if this doesn't excuse George Floyd's death, by the way, and how racists mock it, by the way, but it's just an example of a loser incel trying to be edgy. I don't know, man. Whenever I see like X or Twitter involved, I just assume it's rage bait. Involuntary celibate, incels co. Like, come on, man. Is it not at least a little obvious? I feel like the average woman has no idea what this picture is or what it refers to. The only ones who do are the same people that would say this stuff. I agree. I honestly do not know who this is, and I'm sure that their homicide or whatever was extremely tragic and dark, but I think, like I said, the only person who would make edgy jokes like this is someone who, like, specifically was going out of their way to try to rage bait, you know? I don't know why this got -5 downvotes from Weed OG 420 Anime God. But when you make fun of Charlie Kirk, these people get their panties in a bunch and call for your arrest as a violent leftist. I mean, you can make fun of Charlie Kirk, but these situations aren't exactly the same. And also, most people who are quote-unquote making fun of Charlie Kirk are actually like inciting for more violence and trying to call for more death of conservatives, and like they're calling him Nazi and stuff. Most of the time, it's not even a joke. It's just them inciting violence, which is why people will call for your arrest. And also, it's such a recent tragedy, like, of course you're gonna get pushback, the fuck? Redditors love to pretend not to know things when it's convenient for them. Speaking of Redditors, I see Jabba the Slut over here as a moderator. Let's see what their profile says. r/nursing, Trump supporters are the worst patients. We had to disarm a MAGA nut on the COVID unit during the Delta wave. He had 2 loaded handguns with rounds in the chambers and a bag full of clips. Okay, first of all, not to be Charlie, but it's magazines, not clips. And second of all, most people have their handguns loaded because if some violent incident were to occur, you don't want to worry about a chamber not being in the round. A round not being in the chamber, right? And unless it's like a P320, you shouldn't have any problems with that. Some hit it earlier, guys, when they hit 20, but still don't have girlfriends, make America great again. What is this doing on just neckbeard things? I don't think neckbeards are inherently political or anything. Why does Make America Great Again or Trump just keep getting brought up? Also, not having a girlfriend is much better than being like absolutely cucked like Destiny. 26, very single, very not a Nazi, 420. God, Reddit just never changes, does it? I guess AI phobia is now a thing. Since you're AI phobic, I generated you pregnant. Do not mess with these AI artists. I paused my game to be here. Bro, this reminds me of the Cutie Cinderella situation when the deepfakes came out. I guess we can take this to a new level now that AI art is getting really big. But this is definitely some terminally online Twitter shit if I've ever seen it. Denies that she is a woman, rejects all aspects of her identity other than what is sexually desirable about her, and reduces her to just that. Truly, trans women are the women of women. You ain't a woman, but damn, that's a fantastic pair of tits. This guy is most certainly from the South. Holy shit. Remember to take your estrogen today, queens. Guess this means she's reached the pinnacle of what it is to be a woman, no more than just a few sexual body parts. Welcome to the sisterhood. Well, that's the only thing that you fucking displayed here, is it not? Women will only take pictures for their OnlyFans and then wonder why they get sexualized. And also, why don't we have a head down photo? I'm guessing the illusion would be completely shattered if we actually got a picture of their face. Neckbeard went full groiper. You never go full groiper. My specific brand of racism is falling in love with a black woman, marrying her, having 2 to 3 mixed race kids with her, and raising them in a loving home. It destroys the culture because they'll actually have a father, thus making those children white. Checkmate and the N-word. Okay, what does this have to do with like groipers or Nick Fuentes? I really don't understand. I feel like Redditors understand culture the least out of anybody on the internet. Like, I would trust someone on Twitter to understand more than these fucking people. But isn't this what, like, ultimately liberals want? Isn't this the utilitarian outcome that they're striving for? I don't really fully understand how they see this as a problem except for, like, the N-word drop at the end. This is an actual thing racists do. I've had these kinds of guys approach me and try to flirt with me using the classic racist stereotype. I'll be a present dad, unlike those black guys lines. It was baffling, hates black men, wants to date a black woman. I don't get it. Just because you find black women attractive doesn't mean you have to completely ignore statistical reality. We all know it's true that black guys are the least present ones in the home if like a child is involved. It's not racist to point out a statistically true fact. Although a black joke to a black woman as a first pickup line is quite the bold strategy and also kind of based. I do have to respect it a little. But this is definitely one of those weird esoteric situations where are you actually racist if you're willing to sacrifice this much to show that you're racist or something? I need to read a peer-reviewed study on this or something. I don't understand it. I've never heard of this actually happening, and if it did, I guarantee it was because you were making her uncomfortable. Can I buy you a drink? Sure. She's not interested. Oh, come on, you can't imagine a situation where the less attractive friend gets jealous and tries to just like cock block her other friend? This happens to guys, why can't it happen to girls? A lot of hateful words and brigading happening here. The deletes and bans will be swift. Users, please report rule breakers. It's just me in here, but we'll get these jokers sorted out. God, mods are so fucking gay, holy shit. I've seen it with drunk girls. No, Becky, do not get in the car with the strange man. Well, that's a little different, I feel, than this. This situation presents no real danger where this one actually does. I had it happen to me multiple times in my early 20s, full on flirt mode with a girl, and her friend comes up out of nowhere and pulls this. The way around it is to tell the other girl to come find you in a few minutes. -7 downvotes, wow. Okay, so 2 things are possible. It's either this guy actually did go out a lot in his early 20s, and this was just a scenario that came up a lot, or he's the common denominator and creepy, I guess. So it's more likely to happen to him, and he experienced it a lot because he's creepy. I don't know. But -7 downvotes is kind of crazy. He didn't really say anything wrong. Okay, so sure it's neckbeardy, but this does happen, and not because you've made somebody uncomfortable. I've spent many a year working in bars/nightclubs, and I've seen it happen to others, and myself of course, enjoying some company and conversation until Gorlock rolls up and ruins it. Not everything is black and white, y'all. Oh, that's fucking great. A neckbeard responding to a question about what was considered a perfect body in the 50s. Do you agree Time Magazine's definition of a perfect body in 1955? Way too fat for me. again, this is Grok, or I mean, this is Twitter, so you always have to wonder if they're like rage baiting or something. But just a quick look at the comments and you can see that it is actually fake, which I am not surprised at all about either, and that this is actually like a modern image that they just made black and white. Probably too old for him too. Yeah, that too. Like I said, if it isn't just rage bait. Behold the master race. I will not apologize for being white. I will not apologize for defending my homeland against invaders. And oh my god, this was the guy that got really big by roasting women on Twitter, I think. But also, why are they trying to say that he's a Nazi? Like, you guys are the ones that demonize people for being white. And he also didn't say anything. Like, you can't get this type of messaging for defending his homeland against invaders. I think he's just talking about illegal immigration or whatever. So how is not wanting illegal immigration and not apologizing for being born the race he is Nazi coded in any type of way? If a black person said this, you wouldn't have any issue with it. Ironically, looks about as trans as can be, literally Chaz Bono. I guess that's not a compliment, and so I think the mods must have been sleeping this hour or whatever. A loser discovers the idea of sexual consent. Women logic, don't sexualize me unless I want you to. They will laugh at basic logic because it doesn't put up with their imaginary pedestal. It's convenient that they actually took out what this guy was replying to, but one way you could interpret this is that most women who like hypersexualize themselves online get really, really antsy when you do it when they're not sexualizing themselves, even though they're like a porn star or an OnlyFans person or whatever. It's one of those you want to have your cake and eat it too situations. But you could also interpret it as, like, if a woman walks out in public looking really, really, like, scantily clad, and people start making comments about it, and then she gets mad, that's another one of situations where it's like, you're sexualizing yourself, but you only want attractive people to sexualize you, even though you're in a public space or whatever, you know? But again, how does this have to do with neckbeards? Like, what the fuck? Black voids underneath skirts. Just a heads up for those who get ticked off by this. The game is censored in a way that upskirts present you a black void. It seems like only when you are not attacking when you are not attacking or so, but it's there, which is always weird considering you can walk around like Aya in a bikini, but yeah, censored robot girls because of course. Source, Full Metal Schoolgirl launch trailer. And before people come with, you want to see the panties of underage girls? Question mark. Are you a pedo? Question mark. Do you have a hidden base where underage girls? A hidden base where underage girls are working for you while constantly presenting their panties? Yes, yes, and frickin' yes. Now please move on. Silent Hill F already attracted enough of you brainiacs. Again, I think this is like weird and gross, but I also think it's like a troll post, especially this last part. But I don't know, man. Like, neckbeards are really fucking weird, so maybe this is like just their weird, sick sense of humor. Small booba equal bad game. If Ghost of Yote made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. Designed with gamers in mind, designed with activists in mind. Holy shit, this does look like a Japanese version of like what this game would actually be like if it wasn't made by an American studio. It's actually kind of impressive how accurate they got it. But let's be real, guys, it would probably break immersion because Asians generally struggle to even reach like a C cup, so making it like this would just completely break the immersion of Japan, or any Asian country for that matter. Would have sold 1 million copies when criticizing a game that sold nearly 2 million? Well, isn't this Reddit logic, because it says the game would have sold 1 million copies by now, implying that it wouldn't have reached that, but it would have gotten there a lot sooner. So fuck you, Jitter. Our real logic, your Reddit logic. Not the first time some random gooner loser was upset that a female protagonist wasn't attractive enough for him to masturbate to, and it certainly won't be the last time. I still don't really see a problem with making characters attractive in video games. Like, it's one, good marketing, and two, there's really no reason why people wouldn't want, like, why would you want to make the characters less attractive, you know, unless it's for like political reasons. Now, I'm not saying every character should be like explicit like this, certainly not. In fact, you could probably tone it down a lot and still be fine, but still, like, the idea of just removing attractive characters in general is just weird, or trying to push it in the opposite direction is what I'm saying. Caught 2 neckbeards in the wild. Is there any way to turn female voices off yet? No. Damn. Sucks, eh? Tired of the constant screeching. Too many females in the game. Women ruin everything. Without them, we can't be here. Doesn't mean they need to be forced into everything. Keck W. Not needed in Battlefield 6. These guys are getting upset at John Boy Jr. 69. But what I'm more pissed about is there's like a fucking spy. Like, who the fuck is leaking the boys' group chat? What the fuck? Breaking bro code. I hate liking anime. Dumb shit like this always pops up on my feed. Why do some women hate fan service tier anime girls? Hatred for a fictional abomination. Primitive competitive instinct. Yearning for eternal youth and beauty. To inconvenience male coomers. Oh my god, dude. This is obviously a troll post. Why don't Redditors ever understand trolling? Holy shit, 427 upvotes. The real answer is that a lot of people above the age of 18 don't really like fan service because most of the time it's of people who are either in high school or much younger, and that's fucking disgusting and weird. But like, this is obviously a joke, so I feel like this subreddit actually has a lot more. No, it's just Redditors, never mind. It always is just Redditors. People will never accept the sexual identity of anyone, but if you've looked on Twitter, you've seen how neckbeards will happily sexualize a trans woman even if they're bigoted. In 2019, we're gonna have an anime character turn to face the audience, look the viewer dead in the eye, and say in perfect English, "I am transgender," and we'll still have an otaku fuckboy trying to insist there's an intrinsic Japanese historical context for why they aren't. Okay, this must be some part of the internet that I've never fucking seen before. But didn't we already kind of get this with Dragon Age Veilguard?
Thank you. So, I'm non-binary.
But I guess they made Tosh super fucking ugly, so it's not like anyone was gonna goon to that character anyway. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the channel, feel free to join the Patreon for only $5 a month, and your name can go at the end of the video. But without further ado, thank you to all of the Based Gods, Based Legends, Super Based, and Based Certified members. And I will see you guys later. Peace.